Hey everybody, going to go through here and show how to use our custom prefabs, our custom assets for world building stuff. So for this, we're not going to use core and gameplay repositories. Those are for things like weapons and clothing and gear. We're going to use map and map assets and vehicles. So map is going to be the actual map itself, as well as prefabs for the map that we've made out of our own assets. So this is going to be one of your main folders right here. You can either go into the subfolders individually and find models, go into buildings and look at all of our buildings, or you can go to the prefabs parent folder here and filter by prefabs, and that will show you all of the prefabs in the subfolders as well, everything that we have. So there, just kind of look through there, see what's available. I'm going to turn the filter off for now. We also have this folder called grouped prefabs, which are basically multiple prefabs that we've already put together that we can recycle. So, like this chain link fence, instead of putting, I built that chain link fence by individual parts of the fence. So instead of having to do that every time, we now have this one that you can use that's that size that you can just go in and grab and put in there. So we'll add more and more and more of those as we go. The city block ones are how I've been building the city. So here's the workflow for that. And these are just, these can be replaced. That's the cool part about this. So we could replace these at any time, and it would automatically update all of the blocks in the city that use this prefab. Okay, so we have that one. So in order to keep them lined up, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this one instead of just placing another one of these. We're going to duplicate this one. So Control D, and you're going to hold Control while you drag it so that it drags it to a grid. And it doesn't look like it because we're zoomed out, but I'll zoom in and show you that you'll see the notches like that. So we can line it up exactly. Whoops. There. Too high, right? Nope, that's good. Okay, so that's lined up perfectly. So now, if we want a different block instead of that one, hit Control K, and then we can replace it with any other prefab we want. So just type in city block, and just pick a different one. Boom, now we have a different one and they're lined up. Okay, and they don't have to be lined up like that. I mean, we can put them in random places also. You don't have to line the whole thing up on a grid. That's just for parts that you want to. Okay, so there's that. Infrastructure is going to be, oh yeah, the foundations. These are important. So the main ones that I've been using are this one and this one, but they're all usable. Just depends on what you're going for. I'll fix the materials on the rest of them. Parking lots. I'm going to put parking lot into street, actually, I think. Okay, so if you need a parking lot, just go in there and drag it out here. Boom. And then in the future, we'll add, textures or decals or something to make it look more like a parking lot and have lights on it already in the group. We'll have one in the grouped prefabs, which I'll actually go ahead and show you guys how to do right now. So I'm going to go to the grouped prefabs folder. I'm going to go to the one that we dragged into the world here, the parking lot. And actually, I think a better way to do this is to duplicate it from here. So if you click on in one of these, you can push the P key, and it'll go to the prefab in the resource browser. Okay, so I'm going to right click on this and duplicate. Name it something like that. And then we would go in and put lights on it. Actually, I'll duplicate and Control click to keep them even. Like both of them, Control D for duplicate, Control drag. Okay, something like that, but we could put more stuff in there, whatever we wanted, okay. Then you have to hit apply to, or no, not, we want to put them as a children of it. So you see that? And actually, I think you actually have to do this in the prefab editor. So you hit the home key, and then hit open prefab. Because if we don't do this, it's not going to save the prefab when you add children entities to it. Okay, so you want to go in here actually when you're going to make new ones or edit these prefabs. Okay, so we'll put a light in, and the heck. Oh, that's why, okay. Proportions were off, I thought they were. Alright, I'm just going to be quick and dirty for this video. And I am control clicking when I move these just to keep them on the grid. And we need to make them children of it. And then we're going to duplicate them again. And that takes them out of there too, so we have to make them children again, the new ones. Control, drag. Okay, so we could do that, and then if we wanted to put anything else in there, we could. I don't know what else goes in one. See, we could do a bus stop. Okay, and we could do some planners or something if we wanted, or an electrical box or a billboard. Let's throw a billboard on it. Okay, Control S, save it. Go back to our world. In this case, I'm gonna go and put it in. I'm gonna go to our main world and not that building world. And you see here how it doesn't show the lights on the thumbnail here. You can just right click on it and refresh thumbnail. Boom. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to our city here and we're gonna replace. Oh, that's just a parking lot. We're going to just add it somewhere, I guess. But what we could do if we wanted is replace some of these that we have. See the city blocks? So I could just select some of these randomly, or I could select one of the basketball courts. And then if we wanted to, push Control K, put parking lot full, and see, it puts it right there. And so we'd want to adjust it down on there. Okay, quick and dirty for the video, but you could line it up a little bit better. But anyway, so just like that, and that way the things would keep the same positioning all through the city. So if we wanted to change the city blocks, we can do this. Just select a few of them randomly. Control K and pick a different one. Those are A7, so we'll do A3, A4, whatever. Okay. Boom. Yeah, switch to all of these ones. So that's my workflow for building the cities, and I think something like that is going to work pretty good for us. Other than that, there's other prefabs in here. You can just go through them and see what's available. Oh, the generators. We're going to build more of these. I built the fence link generator. So if you go to this folder in the vanilla folder, Arma4Life map, prefabs, Arma4Life, ArmaReforger. Then go to their prefabs, WE generators, and then there's all kind of generators here. And how these work are they work with the spline or polyline feature. So you click this button up here, go to your tool tab, wherever it is on your system. If you don't have it, you can go up here and put it in current tool. Okay, and then vector tool. So for things like forests, you're going to use polylines. For things like roads and fences and walls, you're going to use a spline. So how to do that is you pick one of them, and then you click somewhere, And after that you control click. So you actually have two nodes here it made. So there's first node, second node. You can move these however you want. And then if you want to add another one, you control click. Okay, so we'll do like a road or whatever here. Okay, so you save that. And then what you do is you go and find a generator. So we'll do whatever this is. Here's asphalt pavement. Then you drag it as a child of the spline or the polyline. Boom. So that's how those are the vanilla ones. So what I've done is made a base generator. Or overrode it. Okay, wall generator base. So we can use other ones, but for now I've made a wall generator base. So you go there, go to the folder that you want to save it in, which will go in here, generators, and then you could do whatever here. You could make a new folder if you wanted to, or just put it in here. We'll put fences. Okay, and then drag it in here. Okay. So then we'll delete that. And then put this in the world, or you could do it like this. Actually, probably open it when you're doing things this kind of prefabs. You want to get off of your tool tab, you have to go back to your properties tab to see the regular stuff here. Okay, so this is the generator prefab and component. So you put in the things here, first object, middle object. So middle object, you could put like a gate or something. If you're going to go to the prefabs, infrastructure, fences, okay, and we can do whatever of these. I don't know if I have those ones set up, but I have the fence link, the chain link ones. So we'll do doorway. How about that for the centerpiece? Okay, first object going to be, oh, actually, I'm going to do this. Click that. Then we can just drag them into here. Okay, first object, fence chain link 1 meter. Or should it be like a corner or something? Let's see. Let's try that for the first object. And actually, this is going to be middle object for now. So I still have to learn to use all these, and other people do too, so we can set these things up and have them work really well. For now, we're just going to do it quick and dirty again. I'll put another corner for the last object and see what that does. And you can do all these different settings for them. Wall groups, that's something that we'll have to learn to use as well. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now. Anyway, so yeah, learn to use those if you can. That would be an awesome help. You can put the generator type. I don't know if they have fence. They don't. It doesn't really matter. I don't even think you have to set this, but we could set it. I could make one called fence if we want. We'll do climbable. Okay, save it. Let's go back to our world. Okay, now we have that same spline that we made. Here. And let's go find our generator that we made. Drag it onto the line, wherever it is. It didn't work very good, but it did put this here, see? So anyway, that's what we need to learn to do, is how to get those to work like the regular ones that work quite well. So if we go to these ones and put these instead. Pipe railing, whatever. See, now we have that all the way along the spline we built. So if we can get our custom models to use that just as efficiently, that would be really amazing. Okay. Besides that, I think that's the main stuff for now. Oh yes, materials. Okay. So we're going to go to map assets. Instead of map this time, we're going to go to map assets repo, materials folder. These are all custom textures that I've brought in, that I've got from other sources that I've purchased or whatever. So these are all the ones that we have imported. The textures are in this folder, but the materials that are made out of these textures are in this folder. We can make multiple materials out of the same textures also. And these are all tileable textures. So all you have to do is go to a building. Oh, I have to get off of this tool. See, I'm on that tool still. I have to go back to that. Okay. Go here, go to the mesh, and then replace whatever material you want to replace. So do that one. Boom. Okay. Now if that doesn't fit, let's do this one actually. I have a duplicate of this material, the stone tile texture, which is right here. But I have two versions of the material so far. I have them at different sizes of UVs. So we have that one is that size, the tiling of it, and the rotation of it. And I have this one that is the same material, but a different rotation and tiling. And I don't really like how that looks on there. So it looks cool on some of them, but so we'll try a concrete one, try the brick one. So yeah, that one does not look good on there. And it's probably because of that building's UVs. So we need, buildings that have clean, unwrapped UVs. So I have those ones. And I have wood planks. I have glass ones so that we can use the same window glass for all buildings. And that way we don't have to have a new material and texture for every building. So that's where these will come in really handy. We have the marble polished. So that. So if you wanted to make a different version of the marble polished, instead of duplicating the textures, all we have to do is duplicate the material and reference the same textures. And I'm going to call it polished B. What happened? Oh, it went in this folder. Oh, I made a folder instead. Okay. I was putting the T in front of them for tiled, but I'm removing that now. I just haven't removed it from that one yet. Okay. So now we have both of them. Okay, so now on marble polished B, we can open it up, and we can go to the UVs right here, you see. So they're at 1. So the smaller the UV, the bigger the tiling. The bigger the UV, the smaller the tiling. So if we wanted to make it a lot smaller tiling, we could do 10 and 10. And then watch when I'll save it. Okay, and then watch when I change it to that one. See, now all the pattern is closer, but it does not really look good like that. I don't know, maybe it does. You want to see what it looks like on the ground level. So actually that's probably about right for on the ground level. Again, I'll show you the difference. Bigger, smaller, and you can also change the rotation of it and the offset. Until you find something you like. CCW means that it's a one-sided material. So if we needed this to be on the other side, depending on how the geometry is set up, look, we do. So that's how you fix that. You change that to none, and that means that it'll be a double-sided material. Okay. So that's how to work with materials. And remember, and if you want to create a new material, just right-click in the materials folder, new material, name it whatever you want. Make sure and use underscores for spaces. Okay, then open it up. And we can go to our textures folder. It's right here. These ones are in their own folders. These ones are in the parent folder. I'm not sure which route we want to go yet. But anyway, these are all the ones you have available. So let's make our plank texture. I haven't made that yet. Okay, so we're going to go here. I already have these textures imported properly. So we have the BCR and the NMO already, so we just need to drag them to their slots. Okay, save it. And then if we want, we can change these things. Like if it's a metal material, you'll want to turn the roughness down and make it shiny. But planks, we don't want to be shiny. So we're going to leave that default. That should be fine for now. I believe we will want this one to be... Actually, no, I don't think we need that one double-sided. But we'll see. You can always change that. Okay, so now let's go in here. And let's put our plank texture on something. Where was the building we were at there? Okay. So that's obviously, we wouldn't want to do that, but if we did, that's too big of planks anyway. So we would want to make our, either a duplicate of the material, but I'm just going to do it on this one right now. Go to our UV mapping, click set class. By default, you can't change these until you hit that. Then you have the settings. Okay, so let's just go crazy and do 100. Okay, that's way too bad, but see, that just shows, but that's totally ugly, but when you get close, it looks alright, but that's not what you would want. So that's more like maybe what you would kind of want. Not saying on this building, but if you were on a deck or whatever. The shingles are really cool for roofs. Obviously, that's not a roof, but... Okay, I'm going to go back to where I had it, that I liked it. Okay, I'm going to save that. And then you would hit apply to prefab if you want that to change every tall building in the city. Apply to prefab. Boom. Now all of them have that, just like that. Well, not all of them, but most of them. I have 2 of them in there, I believe, so for variation. So yeah, we'd keep that one for variation. If we wanted to make it that, we could. Just by dragging it back in there. And then applying the prefab there. And now all the rest of the ones will be like that as well. Boom. And it's always good to see how it looks, you know, compared to the character is what you really want to look. So you want to get on ground level. If you want, you can drag a character into the scene to get a perspective. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Alright, I think that's enough for one video. Let me know any things you guys learned from it, or if you figure out the generators, anything like that. Peace.